Hi folks, Milan Navita here, Deputy Director of Planning with Permit Sonoma, giving you a recap of the December 5th Planning Commission hearing, where we heard an item to bring forward a development agreement ordinance to the county that allows us to enter into negotiation and discussion with developers around creative projects that support our general plan and allow interesting proposals to come forward with significant community benefit. Development agreements are tools that allow for greater flexibility and certainty for development proposals. They're great tools that allow both the county as a regulatory agency to look creatively at a site and make sure a unique development proposal was as closely aligned to general plan goals and policies as possible without having the restrictions potentially of the development standards or other requirements that get in the way of achieving the broader general plan policies. So again, it provides that flexibility and the tool to get creative projects off the ground. At the same time, from a developer's perspective, the development agreements give them certainty and clarity with the county on everyone being on the same page with a development proposal. These are typically done all throughout California. State law provides that any jurisdiction that gets a proposal to do a development agreement has to prepare procedures and policies on how they would process those development agreements. The county has not received any applications so far wanting a development agreement, but knowing that there are several applications where people are starting to discuss this idea, and in general it's becoming more and more of a likelihood within the county, Permit Sonoma took a first step forward in getting ahead of that and wanted to get in place some really clear and strong procedures and policies on how we would evaluate development agreements. So the ordinance that the Planning Commission looked at was exactly what we need to look at when we get a development agreement and what findings need to be made in order to be able to approve them in the first place. There's no specific development proposal associated with the ordinance, it's just the procedures and policies. And a couple of high notes are worth mentioning. One is that all development agreements have to come with a significant community benefit proposal together with the agreement. So not only would a development have to provide all of the required improvements based on existing development standards and general plan policies in order to make themselves work as developments, they also on top of that need to provide a significant community benefit in order to be able to get that flexibility and certainty that's provided through the development agreement. The second is that very clear findings need to be made in order to ever be able to grant a development agreement. And those findings have to go through both the Planning Commission as a recommendation to the Board of Supervisors. And those findings are focused on making sure that in general the development is consistent with the general plan, that it's consistent with any area and specific plans, and that any changes to zoning standards that are proposed in order to make that creative development possible are not the types of changes that would undermine broader general plan policies. So it is an opportunity for flexibility, but it is still forcing development to conform with our broader general plan policies. So as an ordinance that allows development agreements to be negotiated, the Planning Commission looked at it, reviewed it, and ultimately adopted it in the way that staff proposed. So our next step is to go to the board in the new year and show them the Planning Commission recommended ordinance, and we look forward to that. So we're getting ready for the second hearing at the board to ultimately potentially see the adoption of the development agreement procedures.